What's up, baseball fans? It is me, Big Z, with the baseball tee, going at you solo tonight. Fredo could not make it. He had a big travel ball tournament, so he's getting home a little late. So I thought I would just do a little breakdown of the first two games of the World Series, and it's been a really fun first two games so far. Going back to Los Angeles, tied at one apiece. Blue Jays and Dodgers were able to split the first two games, but I feel like games one and two, teams definitely switched roles in each game. Blue Jays had a really good approach in game one. Game two, they kind of switched roles to the Dodgers. And so we talked about it in our World Series preview that the Blue Jays had to take game one no matter what. They had to use the fans as a motivation to get the extra juice, to get the extra pitching the at bat to go yard, whatever it was, they had to do well. They had to win game one and to get the momentum on their side. And that's exactly what they did. One of the keys to victory that we had talked about was that the Blue Jays hit left-handed pitchers really well. And Blake Snell was on the bump for the Dodgers, and he struggled. You could tell he only landed 14 pitches for first pitch strikes, 14 of the 24 batters that he faced. He only landed 14 of those for strikes. That's not Blake Snell like, right? And so the Blue Jays definitely took advantage of that. They were able to lay off the balls outside the zone. A lot of time, Blake Snell is such a good pitcher that you'll find that these teams, even if he's having an off night, these teams are going to chase outside the zone because he's going to get the benefit of the doubt, right? The ump is going to give him a strike, that may be a few inches outside the zone, or his stuff is just that good that it may look like a strike, and then all of a sudden it'll slide out of the zone at the last second. And on Friday night, the Blue Jays they were not going for it. And credit to them. And we talked about it. You had to chase Blake Snell out of the game early, and they did that. He only pitched 5.2 innings. They had a really good performance to get that, and they got to their bullpen, right? The Dodgers bullpen was going into the game as a team was 6.16, an atrocious ERA for a team. And they got 6 runs off of that bullpen. Sheehan came in, he only pitched a third of an inning, and then Banda came in, only pitched 2/3 of an inning. Both gave up 6 runs, and the Blue Jays just looked like a team on the attack, on the prowl. They looked like they had a scouting report on these guys. They looked ready at the plate. Like there was just nothing that was going to phase them in game one. They saw 156 pitches from the Dodgers in game one. They were 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They just looked very poised in that game. On the flip side, the Dodgers, yes, they took 6 walks in the game. They had runners on base, but they kept ruining those chances. Had a lot of runners left on base, hit into some inning-ending double plays, and they just didn't look like the Dodgers selves, right? They were still chasing out the zone, striking out a lot. They weren't giving good at bats. So Blue Jays take game one. Looked 11-4, some huge timely hittings, big grand slams, getting the fans behind them. And game two happened, and he kind of flipped the switch. Yamamoto comes out. Yamamoto coming fresh off a complete game in game two against the Brewers in the NLCS, comes into it. No one's thinking that he can do that again, but Yamamoto does Yamamoto things, and he just deals 105 pitches, a complete game for the Dodgers. The Dodgers absolutely needed that after having their bullpen rocked the night before. And on the offensive side of the ball, the Dodgers actually looked like a team like the Dodgers, right? They had timely hitting, great pitches, or great at bats. Will Smith had a great at bat that when he hit the home run. He kept taking pitches that were close to being strikes, but they weren't being called strikes. They were outside of the zone, and he finally saw a pitch. He sat on the fastball, was able to turn on it, keep the ball fair, and hit the home run. Huge got the lead at that moment. Then Max Muncy would hit another home run in the 8th inning. And the Dodgers just rolled. The Blue Jays did not look like a team that was ready for game two. They didn't live up to the moment in game two. And now we go back to LA tied 1-1. I think a big key for the Blue Jays going into game three is that Tyler Glasnow is on the mound for the Dodgers, and Tyler Glasnow has not done well against the Blue Jays in his career, and I think that they have to light him up. This is two good things could possibly happen for the Blue Jays. Yes, they're very familiar with Glasnow. They've hit him well in the past while he played with the Rays, but also if you chase him, you get to go to that Dodgers bullpen really fast again, and who knows what can happen, right? And so that's one of the benefits, I think, going into game three. I think that's the key to victory for the Blue Jays. I think you have to be able to chase Glasnow early. You let him go 4 innings max, and you get to that Dodger bullpen, and anything can happen. It's anyone's ball game there. If you're the Dodgers, you it sounds so easy. It's easier said than done. But this is just how good the Dodgers are. If they give good at bats, if they don't go outside the zone, if they don't just try to swing for the fences and try to hit home runs every single pitch, they have a very good chance of winning this game. You can tell every single playoff series. You can tell there's some innings that the Dodgers are just swinging for the fences and they're striking out a lot, having lazy fly balls because the launch angle they missed it, and you can just tell the approach is very, very different. They're swinging at the first pitch. On the contrary, when they're taking pitches outside the zone, they're not swinging at everything. They're actually bunting the ball to get guys over. They're leveling out their swings just to get good hard contact, and they just start passing the baton. They're almost unstoppable, right, on offense, and that's for the Dodgers. That's the key to success, I think, for them. They just need to have a good approach at the plate. Get the fans behind them. The fans, they want a repeat. It's the first game at home in LA for the World Series. Dodgers have only clinched one World Series at home in their whole franchise history, and so they have a chance to, if they win all 3 games at home, they can, clinch the World Series at home. And so, these are all simple things, easier said than done, but Dodgers and Blue Jays, I think that those are definitely the keys of victory. Max Scherzer is on the bump for the Blue Jays, and this guy gets pumped, right? He gets really pumped and ready to go, gassed up for these big games. And he hasn't pitched in the World Series for a long time, and so he's going to be ready to go. The Dodgers are one of his former teams. There's no bad blood between them, but he wants to win. He's a competitor, and so the Dodgers need to, I think, use that against him. He may be a little wild. The adrenaline is going to be pumped up, all running through his veins, and I think that they need to use that against him and just have a really good, patient approach at the plate. But I think this is shaping up to be a really good World Series so far. I don't think most people had the Blue Jays even split in the first 2 games. I thought most people were choosing the Dodgers to sweep this series. So the fact that they were able to win Game 1, see Blake Snell win the game, win a game that Blake Snell was starting, is such a huge victory for the Blue Jays. Even though they were only able to split it, like we talked about, you win that first game, you're set. If you go into LA splitting the first 2 games, that's definitely a big win for the Blue Jays. And we'll see what happens, but it's exciting. There's a lot of firepower. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. We appreciate you guys tuning into us all the time on YouTube, on Instagram. We love the comments and the interaction, so keep on doing it. But yeah, enjoy games 3, 4, and 5. We'll see you guys later.